My fiancée disappeared a week before our wedding. No calls, no answers. So I sold the engagement ring and canceled all the arrangements. Then she showed up sobbing at my workplace. A Matthew, 32, male. Or I was 32 and about to be a married man. Now I'm just 32 with a pile of cancellation invoices. It all started 8 days ago, 1 week before the wedding. Lisa, 29, was supposed to meet me. We had a final meeting at the venue the next day. Last-minute details, seating charts, guest meal counts. She didn't show. At 7 p.m., I texted her. No response. By 8 p.m. I called. Straight to voicemail, which was strange. Her phone was practically an extension of her hand. By 9 p.m., a sinking feeling hit me. I called again. Voicemail. I reached out to her sister, Ashley. She hadn't heard from Lisa. I called her parents. Nothing. Panic set in. By midnight, I was a mess. I contacted friends. Drove by her apartment. Lights off, car missing. This wasn't like Lisa. She was meticulous, always over-communicating. For her to vanish like this was unimaginable. The next 24 hours were a haze. I called hospitals and filed a missing persons report. Felt unreal. Her family was distraught. I was caught between fear that something terrible had happened and a growing suspicion of something more personal. On day 3, the police located her. She was fine. She was staying with an old college friend, Sandra, 3 hours away. Relief washed over me, followed instantly by a cold, sharp sting of confusion. She was safe but hadn't told me or anyone. The police said she refused to talk to me and offered no explanation for her disappearance. Just that she needed space. Space. A week before our wedding, my mind went blank. Fear and heartbreak turned into something hard and frigid. No message, no call, no email. After 5 years together, after building a future, after agonizing over those ridiculous table centerpieces. Nothing. So I started making calls. The venue, $5,000 deposit gone. The caterer, another $3,500 lost. The photographer, kind but firm, kept the $2,000 deposit. The florist, DJ, cake, honeymoon flights, non-refundable resort booking. Each call was a punch, dismantling our plans. The financial toll from deposits I'd personally covered or was responsible for was heavy, about $15,000. Her parents had paid for her dress separately and were supposed to cover most of the flower costs directly with the florist later. But I'd paid the initial florist deposit. The toughest calls were to family and friends. The wedding's off. Their shock. The unanswerable questions. The embarrassment. My mom broke down. My dad kept saying, "Son, what happened?" I wished I had an answer. Then the ring. A 1.5 carat cushion cut, vintage style, her dream ring. Cost me $13,000. I took it to a trusted jeweler and got $7,800. Less than I'd hoped. More than I'd feared. That money went straight to my account. A small cushion against the $15,000 in losses I'd already taken from non-refundable deposits and commitments. It didn't come close to covering the damage, but it was something. I gathered everything of hers in my apartment. Pictures, clothes, that goofy stuffed animal from a fair. Boxed it up, labeled it, and waited for her inevitable return. It's been 5 days since I learned she was safe. Still no word from her. She ghosted her own wedding. She ghosted me. The anger is a heavy weight, but mostly I feel clear-headed. How do you recover from this? You don't. I was waiting for the next blow. People don't vanish like that without a follow-up. Update. The next blow came hard. Last Tuesday, I'm a project manager at a construction firm. In the middle of a client meeting, my coworker Nancy interrupted. "Matthew, sorry, someone's here. Says it's urgent." I excused myself, irritated. At reception, there was Lisa. She looked like she'd been crying for days. Red eyes, disheveled hair. A far cry from the woman I was supposed to marry. My first thought. Really? My workplace? "Matthew," she said, voice shaky, stepping toward me for a hug. I stepped back. "Lisa, what are you doing here?" I kept my voice low. Nancy, at the desk, suddenly very focused on her computer. "We need to talk," she whispered, eyes brimming with tears. "Please, it was a terrible mistake." "A mistake?" I said, voice flat. "Disappearing on me, your family, a week before our wedding, refusing to speak to me. That's a mistake." "I know," she said. I panicked. I got scared. Sandra said some things. I just lost it. Sandra, her free-spirited friend who always thought Lisa could do better than me. Right. So you ran off. No word. For 3 weeks. Didn't know how to face you. I was ashamed. Matthew, I still love you. I want to make this right. She reached for my hand. Pulled away. Make this right, I said, incredulous. Lisa, there's nothing to fix. It's over. I canceled everything. The wedding's done. For good. Her face collapsed. No, you can't mean that. We can reschedule. Tell everyone I had a family crisis. A medical issue. We can fix it. The audacity was staggering. Fix it? Like it was a minor hiccup, not a life-altering betrayal? Lisa, I sold the ring. That stopped her cold. Her jaw dropped. You what? Sold it. I lost over $15,000 in deposits I paid myself. The $7,800 from the ring barely touched it. But it was necessary. You sold my ring? Her voice rose. That was my ring. It was inspired by my grandmother's design. How could you? Now I was angry. Your ring? I paid for it. For a wedding you abandoned. A symbol of a promise you broke. Inspiration doesn't make it yours when I paid for it. But the money? She stammered. What about it? I said, calm but firm. It went toward the venue, caterer, honeymoon losses. Consequences of your choices, and I'm still out of pocket. She stared, stunned. You have to give me that money. It's partly mine. We were getting married. Were. Past tense. No, I don't owe you anything except protecting myself from more damage. My boss, Mr. Donaldson, a no-nonsense but fair man, appeared, drawn by her raised voice. He glanced at Lisa, then at me, eyebrow raised. Everything okay, Matthew? Personal matter, Mr. Donaldson. Being handled, I said, giving Lisa a look to leave. She turned to him. He sold my engagement ring. Cancelled our wedding without discussing it with me. She wailed. Mr. Donaldson looked uneasy. Ma'am, this is a workplace. I cut in. Lisa, this is inappropriate. Leave. Now. But Matthew, our families, the deposits my parents paid. Your parents paid for your dress? Which I assume you still have. They were supposed to pay the florist's remaining balance directly, but they didn't. When I canceled the florist, I got hit with their $1,400 cancellation fee because I'd made the initial booking. That added to my already massive losses, which the ring money only partially offset. I have receipts for everything. You can take it up with your parents. She looked stunned, tears streaming. You're so heartless. Cold. I made a mistake. Don't I deserve some understanding? Understanding. My voice was ice. I used that up worrying you were hurt or worse. Want understanding? Start with a real apology, not blaming your friend. And don't come to my job demanding money from a ring you walked away from. Especially when I'm still dealing with the financial mess you caused, including bills your parents didn't pay. I hate you, she screamed. Coworkers stared. My face burned, but my resolve solidified. That's starting to feel mutual. Security can escort you out. She glared, turned, and stormed out, nearly knocking over a plant. Mr. Donaldson said, Well, that was something. You okay, son? Fine, I said, but I was trembling. Not from fear, from her nerve. She didn't just want forgiveness. She wanted a reset button with me covering the cost. Later, her mother, Margaret, called. Oh great. Update Margaret. Lisa's mom. Always obsessed with appearances. Polite but critical. Her call came hours after Lisa's workplace outburst. Matthew dear, she began, her voice dripping with fake warmth. Lisa's devastated. I can imagine, I said dryly. Yelling at someone's workplace must be exhausting. A sharp breath. No need for sarcasm. The poor girl made a mistake. A serious one, yes. Her father and I are terribly disappointed. But she sees her error now. She wants to fix things. Her fixing things means demanding I restart a canceled wedding and hand over money from a ring I sold to offset her mess. A mess that's cost me thousands. That's not fixing, Margaret. That's fantasy. She was upset about the ring, of course, Margaret said, brushing it off. It meant something to her. The design. A design she chose from a jeweler's catalog. Its meaning was in the commitment she threw away. Matthew, Margaret's tone hardened. This isn't just about emotions. There are financial matters. We paid for her costly dress, and we gave you two a generous $5,000 gift for your honeymoon. Since you canceled the wedding, that's on you. I nearly laughed. Hold on, Margaret. The wedding's off because Lisa disappeared, leaving me with emotional and financial wreckage. I canceled because the bride was gone. Your $5,000 gift went into our shared wedding fund, clearly allocated to the non-refundable Maldives resort Lisa wanted. I have bank records and confirmations. Want copies? Silence. Then, it's wrong for you to keep that money. Wrong. I was irritated now. What's wrong is your daughter vanishing, leaving me with the fallout. That $5,000 covered part of the lost honeymoon. I ate the rest plus all my other deposits. The ring money only softened my losses. It didn't make me whole. Itemizing? She asked when I mentioned my next step. You and Christopher were supposed to pay the florist's $2,800 balance directly. Remember? You didn't. When I canceled the contract because the wedding was off, I got stuck with a 50% cancellation fee $1 for 100 since I'd paid the initial deposit. That added to my already huge losses from this disaster. I covered it on top of everything else. Outrageous. You're trying to scam us. No, Margaret, I said, voice steady but sharp. I'm stating facts. Lisa's actions caused these costs. The ring money only cushioned my direct losses. Your $5,000 went to the honeymoon we didn't take. And I had to cover the florist cancellation fee because you and Christopher didn't pay your share before Lisa vanished. There's no profit here. Just a huge headache and a broken engagement that's cost me dearly. Lisa said you're cruel, she snapped. She's right. After all she's been through. All she's been through, Margaret? What about me? Our families, friends, the worry, canceled plans, humiliation? She got scared. Young women do foolish things. She's 29, Margaret, not a teenager. Responsible people communicate, own their actions. The conversation dragged on. Unreal entitlement. She genuinely believed Lisa's regret erased all consequences, or that I should bear them. She even suggested I apologize to Lisa for selling her ring and not being supportive during her workplace outburst. Enough. Margaret, I'm done. I'm sending you, Christopher, and Lisa a detailed breakdown of all wedding-related expenses I managed or was left responsible for. It'll list payments I made, deposits I lost, and costs I covered when others didn't, like your florist bill. It'll show no one's profiting, especially me, and highlight the $1,400 florist fee I paid on your behalf. Reimburse me for it or don't, your call. But any more demands or harassment, and I'll have a lawyer send a cease and desist letter. Clear. Silence. Then, clipped. You wouldn't dare. Test me. I hung up, hands shaking. Not pleasant, but the anger felt clean. They thought they could pressure me into paying for Lisa's colossal mistake. The next day I did it. A detailed spreadsheet. Every vendor for shared costs. Every deposit I paid. Dates. Scanned invoices. Highlighted the florist cancellation fee I covered. Attached proof of the ring sale and how it only partially offset my losses. 3 copies. Sent via registered mail with return receipt. 1 for Lisa. 1 for her parents. Then the chaos. Lisa wasn't just staying with Sandra. After her workplace scene, I heard through Nancy's office gossip that Sandra told Lisa to take responsibility or leave. So Lisa was back with her parents. My spreadsheet arrived during their reunion. A text from Ashley, Lisa's sister, came days later. Matthew, Mom and Dad got your papers. So did Lisa. It's chaos here. Just wanted to say I'm sorry. You didn't deserve this. I replied, thanks, Ashley. Means a lot. The revenge wasn't cruel. It was clarity. Consequences. They wanted to twist the narrative, paint me as the villain. The spreadsheet was my truth, backed by facts. I heard Lisa tried telling mutual friends I got cold feet, was too controlling. She had to escape. After her workplace meltdown, bold. But my calm recounting her public outburst. It didn't add up. People talked. Not favorably about her. Her victim story fell apart, especially when her money demands got out, likely through Margaret. The fallout was straightforward. Her actions, her consequences. No theatrics, just facts. No florist fee reimbursement. Didn't expect it, but they know. And they know their demands are groundless because my records show I was left covering their share too. A small win. Update. Time's passed. Life, frustratingly, moves on. After sending that financial truth bomb, the initial storm, per Ashley, faded to quiet. Glorious, peaceful quiet. No more calls from Margaret. No dramatic, manipulative visits from Lisa. No stern emails from Christopher, her dad, who I always thought was quietly perplexed by his family. I didn't get the $1,400 for the florist fee her parents owed. Knew I wouldn't. Getting money from a self-entitled Margaret? Like teaching a fish to climb. The point was made. My spreadsheet laid out my full financial burden. including their unpaid share. A gem from Ashley came about a month ago. We'd stayed in occasional, careful contact. Matthew, you won't believe this. Or maybe you will. Lisa tried to get Mom and Dad to fund a healing retreat for her trauma from the wedding cancellation. Cost $3,000. I replied, "Did they?" Dad said no, straight up. Told her to start healing by getting a job and paying back what they lost on her dress alterations and other things they paid for directly. Stuff not even on your list of shared costs you covered. Mom's giving Dad the silent treatment. Lisa's a wreck. Total drama. That was better than any $1,400. Entitlement hitting a family wall. Christopher finding his spine. Good for him. Ashley's note confirmed my spreadsheet focused rightly on my direct and consequential losses. Lisa, from what Ashley and others say, isn't doing well. Her victim narrative collapsed. Her workplace outburst made her seem unstable. Her attempts to badmouth me were sloppy, easily debunked. Many former mutual friends saw her actions. Some reached out to support me. Others drifted away, which is fine. Friendships shift. She's still living with her parents, apparently. Job search isn't going well. Anything she's qualified for is beneath her after her trauma. The world isn't buying her story. For me, that spreadsheet is a keepsake. Not for money, but as a reminder. Logic, not just emotion, wins. Laying out the facts about the financial burdens I carried. As for me, the first month was tough. Not just anger, but confusion. The why? I'll probably never get a clear answer. People like her rarely make sense to anyone but themselves. But the clarity from my first steps held, like a fog lifting. I see people, situations more sharply now. Sold our old couch. Got one that's just mine. Reclaimed my space. Hit the gym more, great for stress. Reconnected with old friends. Work solid. Mr. Donaldson gave me a quiet nod of approval after the incident. Handled that well, Matthew. Small things count. Dating? Not yet. Trust feels tricky. But I'm not bitter. Working on it. Focusing on myself. Career, friends, rebuilding my way. No fancy retreat needed. Sometimes late at night, a pang of old pain hits, betrayal, the life we planned. But it fades faster now, replaced by quiet confidence. Not loud triumph, but steady certainty. I navigated a nightmare with composure. Strength. Didn't let her ruin me, my finances, or my reputation. She faced consequences, real ones. No dramatic revenge, just the natural fallout of a terrible decision. That feels more authentic, more satisfying than any spectacle. She made her mess, and now she's living in it, with her parents grumbling. I'm sleeping just fine.